Good morning, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns podcast. Today is Thursday, and it is the 9th day of Vlogust. I decided that I would work a little bit more on another mat. I had thought after I finished the first one I might not make any more, but it really doesn't take that much more. Although you're going to see me struggling with some of this because in one of these balls, you can see this plastic right here. This comes from a potato bag, and it's a little thicker, a little harder to use, but works up nicely in the bedroll. So I'm going to carry on and struggle with those couple of stitches and move on, and it'll be fine. This is one great way to recycle the plastic bags. I have finished one complete mat, so I'm working on this second one. Now I also kind of wanted to talk about things plastic today. We use a lot of plastic, and of lately, I know you've seen these, there has been a big push to ban plastic straws, especially in California. My family has always teased California is the land of fruit and nuts. They grow a lot of fruit, they grow a lot of nuts. That's the only thing we're saying. But this big push with the straws irritates me. I need straws to drink items out of ever since my surgery and the one vocal cord being paralyzed. If I sip on something out of a cup, I am more likely to aspirate those fluids. So, I use a straw. Morning coffee. And yeah, I use a straw to drink my coffee. Because, like I said, I'm more apt to aspirate. It's an ugly scene when that happens. Terrifies my husband, so I use straws to drink. A lot of people that are disabled need straws for various reasons. So I think this idea of banning straws is absolutely ridiculous. Especially when you realize it is based on a 9th grader science project. Yeah, 9th grader science project. Not only that, but the majority of the countries that pollute have a large plastic pollution problems. And that little island of plastic they say is out in the ocean comes from India and Africa. So, do we need to do better things with our plastic? Yes. Does it break down? Yes. It takes longer to break down than normal things, but yes, it will break down. So, one way to do better things with plastic is to make mats for the homeless, recycling bags. And that's all this is. These are just recycled plastic bags. We do use a lot of products. Plastic is a byproduct. It comes from fossil fuels, which is why, you know, how they talked about after the big BP spill, that there was a coat of plastic on the ocean that actually comes from fossil fuels and the chemical reactions. We use fossil fuels for a lot of things, not only for making plastics to make things in our life easier, but it is used to make things prettier in our life, such as acrylic paints, and all kinds of items. The items that we use the fossil fuels byproducts for make a ton of items. Fossil fuels, there's an item that comes from fossil fuel that a lot of us use to keep our skin soft. When you have wounds nowadays, many of the doctors, instead of using triple antibiotic, will tell you to use petroleum jelly on it. Fossil fuel. That was the side product that drillers found, because as the pipes were going down, there was this gunk that came off of them, and they would use it, rub it on their hands, because it was rough. Made their hands nice and smooth, and that was petroleum jelly. So yeah, there's a lot of things that we can do without, but I don't think we'll ever get away from ever using fossil fuels. Simply because of the byproducts that we need to make life easier, including using items that come from fossil fuels in our medications. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that, but that is something that is used in a lot of medications, because it also helps the medications to cross the blood-brain barrier. Whatever this chemical is that comes from the fossil fuel. And honestly, it is a part of the earth. It doesn't matter what we do, we're going to have to use something that comes from the earth to replace our fuel needs. So, it's there. Many places of the country, it just seeps up out of the ground. So, it needs to be used. Let's go ahead and use it. I thought I would take a little bit of time just to kind of give you an overview of those things with plastics. Those are my views. I think it's something that, yes, I would like to see less of out there wasted, used like crazy, but it's out there. We need to start just conserving and using it in better ways. I mean, even our lawn chairs now are made out of it. I'm a good grief, people. We're not going to get away from it. Not anytime soon. Because when you use the alternative, you use wood, there are issues with it. Critters, termites, those kind of things. There's always something. But yeah, we could do things a little bit better, use things a little more wisely. And that's something I think people should do, use things more wisely. And I do find this ban with the plastic straws kind of funny, because in using the paper straws for sanitary reasons to meet the health code, they have to be covered in single-use plastic. I don't know. I don't think there's an easy answer to things. I think sometimes people go overboard with their ideas. This idea of banning straws, I think, has gone a little bit overboard, but it has made some funny memes on Facebook, like the drug cartels are now bringing in straws. Now it's okay to have concealed carry. Package of straws in your holster. But, yeah. And we use things like pool noodles. I use pool noodles up in my quilting room. I use it on my sewing chair to as a way to stretch my lower back, my middle back, leaning against it. I use it because it helps me also roll up. Yeah. Roll up quilts. The quilt top onto one, the backing onto the other, roll it out as you go, pin it, spray baste it, whatever. Yeah, I use plastic a lot in my house. I went through trying to figure out all the ways that I use plastic, and I realized, we're probably not ever going to get away from it. I have always used my own sewn bags, although grocery stores will sell you their own plastic bags, and those that are what we call laminated plastic, as a way to bring home your groceries to reuse. And if you're doing that, people, wash your bags. I was talking with one of the clerks at the grocery store about those kind of things, and she said, you wouldn't believe how nasty some of these bags are that people bring in to reuse. She said, yours are always clean, they smell nice. So that's because we wash them every week. We wash them every week because, yeah, you can get bacteria in those too. And it just becomes nasty. And, ooh. So if you're using reusable bags, good. If you're not washing them, wash them. It'll be better for your health. Because, bacteria do grow in those things too. It's kind of like if you have clothes that are wet and whatever, they'll get moldy and they'll get a slime on them. It's bacteria growing. Wash your bags. All right, I think I've rambled on about nothing long enough today. Hope everybody has a great day. Going to an auction today. The only other thing I want to say is, if you have something on your bucket list, do it. Let's get our bucket list crossed off. My one thing has been to go to an auction. That is one of the things that I want to go do. The other is going to another country. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Trying to get my husband, well, as an adult, going to another country. I've been to another country. But there is one country that I have in mind that I would like to go to before I get too old and can't manage. And that's, to go to Wales and Ireland. I don't know if that will ever happen. I've always wanted to go on a cruise. It's on my bucket list. I may have to do that by myself. My husband's not a big, traveler, go do things, be around people. And he always tells me that's because I'm around people all day at school and everything, and I deal with personalities. He said, I just don't like people. I like being around people. Been around them all day. And that's fine. The type of person he is. I love him anyway. I'll stick with him. Okay. I will see you again tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. And remember to be kind.